Hello, welcome. Welcome to another amazing episode of the Friday Night Hangout. We'll take our ads first,
Oh yeah,
and then
it's
we'll
a
go right
Friday
into
night.
it while we wait for more people to come. Take our
It's Friday
ads.
night hangout. Let's
Take our
celebrate. A season of new beginnings. Let's rejoice. Thank God it's Friday. It's Friday night hangout. Let's celebrate. A season of new beginnings. Let's rejoice. Thank God it's Friday.
Okay, I'm so excited to be live. Good evening, DJ Floxy. Nice to see you here. It's been a while. Nice to see you here in this month of November in life. How are you and how is everything going on? Welcome to another interesting episode of Friday Night Hangout. This week we're going to be talking about transforming your mindset. But before we do that, for those of you who are just watching this for the first time, or this is your first time being in this tribe, I am your host, Joy Onyeso. And the Friday Night Hangout is a weekly program where we come together to look at issues that impact on our daily life, in our business, create a solution, have conversations that could create a shift, right? So I'm always excited to be here with you every Friday night. And this is my first live in the month of November. So I celebrate myself and I celebrate you for also tuning in this Friday. We're going to be talking about it. We have 2 weeks, I think just about 2 weeks to wrap up the month of November. And we're going to use the next 2 weeks to discuss on our mindset and how we can transform our mindset. Now, before we go into the deep conversations, I want to be sure that we're all on the same page about mindset. When we talk about mindset, what do we really mean? And in very simple terms, when we talk about mindset, we're referring to the set of beliefs that shape how you engage with the world, how you see yourself, how you see the world. So that is why it is a very impactful, a very powerful tool because it determines how you show up. It determines your attitude. It determines your success. So your mind is actually one of the most powerful tools that God has given to you. Welcome, Doris. Nice to have you here. Now, your mind is one of the most powerful tools that God has given to you. And the level of growth you have is dependent on how much you're able to harness the power of your mind. Now, by itself, when you look at mindset, you just assume that, when you say something is set, it means something is cast in stone. It means that something is just there, right? Fixed, right? But in terms of mind, there are two types of mindset. There is the fixed mindset and then the growth mindset. Now, before we come into the conversation of the fixed mindset or the growth mindset, I still want to re-emphasize the importance of your belief system. Your belief system is what shapes how you see the world. And what really is your belief? Your belief is the thought that you assume to be true. So when you talk about the belief system, we're looking at interrelated and interconnected thoughts that shape how you behave, that shapes how you interpret things, that really shapes the meaning you give to things. That is why you find out sometimes we all have different perspectives on the same thing. You could watch a video right now, you say, oh, this lady is wearing very mini skirt. This is wrong. It is bad. Now, do you know what has made you to come to that assumption, of what has made you to think that that is true? It is your belief system. And what shapes your belief system? The first thing is your family, your religion, your culture, friends, the experiences you gather in life. This all shapes your belief system, and this all impacts on your mindset. Oh, thank you so much, sis. She says I look gorgeous. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm actually very tired. It's been a very long day, but I'm just super excited to be here, because this is my first live on the Friday night hangout in the month of November. Right. So I hope you're getting it. What shapes, or what shapes your belief system is your family, your culture, your religion. So for those of us, for instance, who, let me look at our client Nigeria. Now, if for instance you're Igbo, the culture of the Igbos is they're just so different from that of the Yorubas or that of the Hausas. But listen, it doesn't make it more valid than the Yoruba culture or the Hausa culture. No. But because it is a culture you've grown in, is a culture in which you were nurtured, everything that you've been told from infancy holds true for you, right? Now, when you now engage with the culture of the Yorubas, you have what to call a culture clash, because the belief system is different. That is not what you're used to. And so, because you're not used to it, the tendency is that you see it as false, you question it, and it's a struggle for you to believe in. Now, this is what shapes how you interpret things, how you give meanings to things. So, when someone smiles or acts in a particular way, you give it a meaning based on what you know to be true. And what you know to be true is shaped by culture, religion, friends, family, experiences in life. Now, when you know this, now it comes with a certain level of exposure, of maturity, for you to know that your truth is not more valid than the truth of the next person. So you just need to open your mind. And it is that process of opening your mind that, the transformation begins to happen. You begin to question what you believe to be true. So you can't actually transform your mindset if you can't come to a place of interrogating, of questioning your beliefs. Now, as a believer, if you grew up in a Christian family, the tendency is that from infancy you've been fed the word, right? So you've not really had the opportunity to challenge the word and to come to a deep understanding of the word by yourself. So you have to go through that process. And that's why sometimes it looks as if those who came in, maybe their parents are not pastors, their parents are not deaconess workers in the church, they, when they become born again or accept the truth. You know what I say, accept the truth, accept that belief system, they tend to run faster because they've had the time to interrogate and come to a place of understanding. So when you want to be successful, if you want to grow, you need to come to a place of interrogating what you believe to be true. And that means you need to come to a place of interrogating all your thought processes. Before you jump in and start arguing and start projecting, can you step back and ask yourself key questions? Is this really about me? Or am I giving meaning to the conversation or to the attitude of the next person because of the way I've been nurtured, because of my mindset, because of my belief system? So this is very key. Anyone who is successful has gone through that process of transforming the way they understand things, the way they react and see the world. You come to a point where you have to open your mind. It is difficult to learn if you do not have an open mind. It's difficult to grow if you're not willing to challenge some of the stereotypes that you have, some of the belief systems that you have. You hold tight onto it. You're a conservative. You hold tight onto it. These are what we call limiting beliefs. They are limiting because they hinder you from growing, they hinder you from experiencing certain truths because you feel that what you've been taught from infancy. Don't forget that the family is the first point of socialization we all have. So the belief system of our parents is what invariably we grow with until we get to a certain age where we start questioning, where we become curious. So if you've not grown to that point where you're curious to know, curious to find out, curious to test the waters, then it becomes a problem. So we see this play out. The impact of this is very wide in our business, in our spiritual life, in our personal life, in our emotional life, in our financial life. You see our mindset, our set of beliefs playing out. For some of us, when we have that deep belief that as a woman, there is a certain level of ambition that you're not meant to have. Oh, it's meant for a man. And that's why some people will stereotype any woman they see that is too hardworking. They'll say, oh, she does this like a man. Why? The belief system is that it's only men that behaves like this. So what happens is that when you come across such behavior, your sense of your set of belief system interprets it to be a feminine behavior. And so your reaction would be the reaction that you have nurtured over the years. That's why you see some people are so antagonistic. They say, ah, no, I can't have a female boss. What does that mean? I can't have a female boss. You see it in marriages. Well, the men, some of those men who come into marriage a limited belief would not want their wife to work. They would not want her to have an opinion. They want to control. It's the same thing for women. Like you see it play out. This has also the set of women, if they see another woman struggling hard and said, what does she feel like? She feels okay, she's better than us. What are they doing? They're projecting their inadequacies on the next person. And that's why this month of November, we're going to be looking at how can we transform our mindset. But before we talk about transformation, that's why I'm laying this foundation. It's very important that you begin to think about certain things and see how where you fit into that. What shapes your thought process? What shapes your thought process? Very key. What do you know or what do you believe to be true? And I need you to really interrogate this in different areas of your life. It might be that that relationship you're struggling with is as a result of some of the belief system that you bring to the table. And when you bring those belief system and you're not willing to check it, you're not willing to really question it and see how valid it is, you keep struggling. You keep struggling. It is difficult to grow above your belief system. It's difficult to grow in ways that are not in consonance or in alignment with your belief system. So, if, for instance, you believe that to make money is hard, that is a belief system. Of course, because it's a belief system, because it's the thought you believe to be true, is going to impact on how you engage with processes that will make you to get money. I hope you're getting me. So that is why the first thing you need to do if you want to grow, if you want to be successful, is to look at some of the belief systems that you've been holding on to and try to deconstruct or dismantle those limiting beliefs that are not serving you at all. There was a time in my life that I felt that, wow, that there are certain kinds of money I can't even make as a woman. That is just impossible to make those kind of money. And of course, because I had that limiting belief, it impacted on how I engaged with activities, with certain process, and even with the level of ambition that you even would have, it limits it. Until I change my mantra. You see, words of affirmation, the words you say are so powerful. And so I will ask you to pay attention to the words you say. Your thought process informs what you say. The Bible tells us that out of the abundance of our heart, what happens? The mouth speaks. So it's out of your thought process, out of the abundance of your belief system that you will speak forth. You cannot speak forth what really you don't believe. And that's why you can say something casually. If you don't really believe in it, you can't take action on it. You can't take action on it. For those people who believe that a woman can rise above certain levels, these are those kind of people that will say the woman has a sugar daddy, the woman has what do they call it again? What do they call it in university or high school? They call it I've forgotten what they call it now. When I remember, I will say it. You now start looking for things. You want to ascribe the hard work of the woman to somebody else or to something else because in your fixed mindset, you believe that a woman can achieve a number of things on her own. There has to be a man. There has to be a man. Good evening, IJ. How are you? Good evening, Ozioma. Good evening, Maureen. Good evening, Honorable Gonachi. Thank you for coming in. Good evening, my big sis, Madam Adenike. Nice to see you and thank you for joining in from Dublin. Thank you, my sister Stella. Thank you for joining from Connecticut. I see you, DJ Floxy. I see you, Doris Onyemachi. Sorry if I don't call your name. You know, sometimes I don't get to see all the names on my screen. So it impacts on a number of things. So one of the things I want us to do this year, it's all part of ending the year strong. You can't know where you're going to if you've not evaluated where you're coming from. And that's why to end the year strong, if you were in the BBR Women of Fire Wednesday, I talked about focus. And today I'm talking about your mindset. You need to shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Now, you may ask me, I've talked about what a mindset is, right? Now, what is a growth mindset? A growth mindset is that type of mindset that allows you to do all I've been talking about, that allows you to interrogate your beliefs, that enables you to know that there are opportunities for growth, that you need to make an effort to improve yourself. You're willing to face challenges. You're willing to become a better person. You're not afraid to make mistakes. You're not always projecting on people. Some of us have perfected the act of not accepting mistakes. Is always the other person's fault. Is always, these are those kind of fixed mindset that you see. You're not willing to look at situation holistically and say, oh, yeah, I could have done it better this way. And that's what made the difference between the growth level of A and the growth level of B. Your mindset is what makes that difference. So as you're listening to me tonight, I want you to begin to reflect because remember I said the idea is not just to have this conversation. The idea also is for us to start taking inspired actions that could create a shift in the way we see things and the way we understand things and in the way we do things. So I ask you tonight, what are some of the beliefs that you have that has been limiting you from achieving your goals? You know what they are. For some of us is a religious belief system. For some of us is our cultural belief system. For some of us is our family belief system. For some of us is also a fusion of all these that have formed a personal belief system and they are limiting us. They become our core beliefs. These core beliefs are what determines how we act, how we show up. Someone will tell you that, I'm not an early morning person. That is a belief system. Who is a late night person and an early morning person? These are belief systems that have shaped how you see yourself and how you make sense of your attitude and how you engage with things. So if you want to become an early morning person, you can, by dismantling that pattern of not waking up early. If you want to sleep all day and wake up in the evening, you can if you want to. So this is the way I've made. That's a fixed mindset. You don't want to improve yourself. Even in business, you're not willing to look around. Your face is always inside in isolation. You're not looking around to observe what is happening, to learn. The only time when you look around is to criticize. When you have a very critical mind, it's so difficult for you to see anything positive around you. And when you don't have positive energy and cannot see positive things around you, it's so difficult for you to grow. It's so difficult for you to grow. Our people, when I say our people, I mean the Igbos will say, if you lie to everyone, you cannot lie to yourself. So tonight, one of the things I want you to do, one of your key takeaways from here is examine yourself. I want you to understand what your belief system is before we even go deeper into the conversation, because that is where it starts from. Your belief system. And I said your belief system are the thoughts that you hold to be true. The thoughts that you hold to be true. Because you hold them to be true, it determines the meaning you give to situation. It determines the meaning you give to incidents, you give to people, you give to actions. It also determines the way you show up for yourself and for the world. So are you willing to give yourself that permission to really evaluate your belief system? So one of the things I want you to do in evaluating your belief system, I love to put a structure to it so that it's something tangible you are running with. I want you to look at religion. Whether you're a traditional worshiper, you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, you're an atheist, there is a set of belief system that you have. So in that religious setting, what are some of the beliefs that the thoughts that you hold to be true that impacts on what you do, that impacts on the meaning that you give? I want you to write them down. Yes, you write them down. You know, I always tell you when you come for Friday night hangout, come with your writing materials or with your smartphone. You can take notes, right? And I want you to identify how they limit you from growing. Get very specific. How have these beliefs or this belief system limited your growth? Note them down. Which belief has actually helped you to grow? One of the key words for me is I always tell myself that there is nothing like impossibility in my dictionary. That did used to be my story before. My story before used to be word of fear. You know, when certain thing happens to you serially, you develop the spirit of fear. You are afraid. If I do this, if I invest this money, it will disappear. And of course, because you believe it to be true, when you invest the money, what will happen? It will disappear. Because that is what you believe. I had that belief before. When I went through a series of business loss, I do this business, phew, I ordered this one, it disappeared. I started becoming afraid and it started shaping my thoughts. So I said, wow. Remember, I said your experiences also shape your belief system, it shapes your mindset. And because of the experiences I had, the wars I've had in business some years back, I was like, oh, I became afraid that anything I put my hands with would not prosper. It's not going to work. There's going to be story. And because I believed it, there was always story. Every time, story, one way or the other. Until I had to step back and tell myself, whose report will you believe? I am beautiful and wonderfully created. I'm like the tree that is planted by the riverside. I will always flourish. And the Lord can make my little beginnings to be great things. I am the city that is set on the hilltop. My light cannot dim. You see, by the time, sometimes you think people saying these things are stupid. By the time you keep saying these things to yourself, it keeps reinforcing what you believe to be true. It affects your thought process. And by the time you start believing it, your confidence level starts rising and you can do more. That is why in setting goals, I would always say, please set micro goals. Do you know why I always advise this? When you set micro goals and you can achieve those micro goals, it boosts your energy, it boosts your confidence level, it boosts your belief in yourself that you can do more. And so you want to do more. And because you're coming with that energy level, even when you make mistakes, you don't interpret it the same way you make it when you're down. It's just like when you see someone that is down, that is flat on his or her back. There are certain things you do to that person. The person will start interpreting it in a way you never even believed. The person is interpreting it through their belief system, through their thought process, because that's what they believe to be true. Anything you do is interpreted within that lens. So it affects how you see things. Your mindset affects how you see things. You see these glasses I'm wearing now. I'm wearing the glasses because I can't see very well. And so it aids me to see things. When you put on the lens of your belief system, it gives you certain interpretations. You see things the way your lens shapes them for you. The next thing I want you to do is to start observing the patterns. Start observing the patterns. It's difficult to change things or create new things if you don't even know the pattern that you. Everyone has a pattern. The pattern is almost like a routine, how you show up, how you do things, your attitude, your habits. So start observing your pattern. If you want to dismantle anything, if you want to create new habits, you need to understand your pattern. Otherwise, you'll just be running around in a circle. Study your pattern. How does your thought process function? When you hit a challenging situation, what do you, some of us, once you get a challenging situation, you run back. You're afraid to engage. Why? Because you believe that once you engage, you're going to fail. Once you engage, oh, I don't have that capacity. And what forms this? What has enabled you to behave like that? And these things I mentioned: your religion, your culture, your family, your friends, the experiences you've had in life, all of this has helped shape your mindset. So if you want to become successful all around, and success, by the way, is not just financial success. Success is when you can intentionally choose to be happy in spite of everything that is happening around you. Success is when you can show up in the fullness of your presence when it is most difficult for you to. There are days I show up on Friday night hangout, I'm talking, I'm smiling. Meanwhile, I'm going through a whole lot, but you won't even know. There's sometimes people are in my inbox dragging me. Oh, you don't want to respond to my message. You feel too big. If I once sent me a message to say that you think that you should be grateful to God that He has blessed you so for you to help people. Now you don't want to help anyone. Meanwhile, I was going through my own battle. I couldn't even help myself at that point. And then you're wanting me, how can I help when I've not helped myself? We all have our struggles. But because your thought process is when people are not responding to you, they're feeling pompous, they're feeling arrogant. That is how you interpret it. So when you meet that silence, you interpret it as arrogance. Your set of assumptions begin to play out. So what I'm saying tonight is we want to get into 2023 in the better version of ourselves. If you want to change the results you get, you've got to change the way you do things. You cannot keep doing the same thing all the time and you want to get the same result and want to get a different result. No way. That's not possible. So I've given you one assignment to interrogate your belief system. The other thing I told you to do is to observe the pattern. Observe how you react. Observe how do you react? How do you take things? Some of us get so emotional about certain things we are not supposed to get emotional about. You box people into corners. Meanwhile, that's your mindset playing tricks on you. And you don't even know what the person is going through at that point in time. You may physically be with that person, but you don't even know the person's thought process. You don't understand what the person is dealing with, and you're projecting. You're projecting. At that point, it's all about you. So I want us to look at this very critically. Because if you cannot have healthy relationships, it's difficult for you to be successful. For every successful person you see out there, the person has mastered the skill of navigating relationships. Of navigating relationships. There has to be the relationship, we say our network equals our net worth. And for you to have a solid net worth, it means that your network needs to be solid. And then for you to have, you must have that, you know, that skill set of engaging with people, of understanding, empathy. Most times we want people to understand us without seeking to understand them. Now, no one is perfect. We're all work in progress. Even myself, we're still so much work in progress. And that's there's this thing I do every day before I go to bed. Before I go to bed, I reflect on all that I have done, or most things I have done in the day, and I try to reflect on my reactions on those things to say, okay, did I overreact or did I react appropriately? Why? What could I have done better? And then you learn the lessons from there. This will enable you to know how to react next time. This will enable you to know whether you need to apologize, whether what you've done is right, you took the best decision at that point in time. But if you don't have a system of evaluating your actions, your reactions, your decisions, then it's difficult really for you to grow. So, self evaluation is a critical component of transforming your mindset. Then, the other thing you need to really think about, I spoke about it during the Broken but Remodeled Women of on Fire Wednesday, is the process, your journey. Many of us are so focused on the end result. We don't bother about the process. We think you can just do yaga yaga anyhow and just you won't bring up the results. I'm one person who looks at the process. I love to look at the process. How did you get to where you're going to? It tells me how authentic your end result is. You cannot do mago mago to the end result. It is not sustainable. And that is the culture you see these days. People want to go from zero to 1,000. You don't want to give yourself the permission to go through that process. You know what happens in the journey or in the process? You learn a lot. That is what shapings a whole lot of things. You build up experience, you build up knowledge. Theoretical knowledge is so different from practical knowledge. When you engage with someone who has only the theoretical knowledge of issues, when you engage with that one on practical issues, you see, going through life requires practical life skills. That is why most times God will always take you through the dimension He wants you to walk in. If this is the purpose God has called you for, He makes you walk through that path. So you're in a better position to understand the challenges. If I've been a waiting mother for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, I understand the pain. I understand the mockery. I understand the silent tears. I understand the spoken words. When I want to cancel a mother in waiting, I would know what to tell her that would touch her. She would say, oh my goodness. But because I've not gone through that process, yes, I can cancel. Yes, I could speak to it. But most of the things I will say will be theoretical. There are certain things you need to experience for you to be able to speak about it in a very deep dimension. The depth of your expression comes as a result of the depth of your engagement and understanding. You can't beat someone who is, if someone is, for instance, a relationship coach, and the person has gone through, you find out that in the beginning of their relationship, maybe before they got married, and they had issues, they got married, during their courting days, their early marriage days, they went through a lot and they were able to fix that relationship. They they start in a better position to come out and give you valid advice. They say, oh, we went through this is what worked for us, this you can model. They're not saying copy it, because we're all different individuals. That we're all different individuals. So please give yourself the permission to go through that process. Go through the process and deepen your understanding so that your expression, either in words or in actions, will show. That is what makes the difference between, like, when you see an experienced doctor, you would know why, the number of cases he has seen. So he has deepened his understanding of that particular ailment. Perhaps because he has seen 100 presentations of that ailment in different ways. So he knows the different presentations of that. Unlike a doctor who has just seen maybe one or two, the person will not have the deep understanding of the different ways that ailment can present himself. So your years of experience also count, and that speaks to your process as well. Give yourself, be patient with yourself. Transforming your mindset speaks to having speaks also speaks to you being patient to go through the process. Don't be in a hurry. I have a very bad cold, so please just pardon me. Very bad cold. Just started this evening. So it also speaks to you giving yourself the permission to go through that process to get the desired result. So what have we been talking about today? I'm going to summarize because we're wrapping up. I want you to put in the chat box what has come through for you, what has been the value of the session for you. Put it in the chat box. Keep it coming in while we take our ads. We'll take our ads, and then I want to see what has been the value of the conversation so far. Put it in the chat box, and I will read it out while we take our ads. So I want to see, sorry for the break in transmission. I want to see the value of this session for you. We started off by looking at what really is the concept of the mindset. What we talk about mindset, what are we talking about? And I said the mindset is your set of belief system that shapes how you view the world and yourself. It shapes how you view the world and yourself. Let's take some ads now. But while we're waiting for the ads to come up, I want to see what the value has been for you so far. Do you have any question? Do you have any comment? Do you have any experience? Put it in the chat box. While I'm waiting to get that, network is particularly very slow from my end. Hey, I'm so excited. This is the time of the year that makes me so excited. Oh my goodness, the time of the year where we give out, where we say thank you to everyone that has stayed with us from the beginning of the year up to date. So the Joy Onyeso coaching consult, it's running a Christmas promo. Did I hear someone screaming excitement? Yay! I'm very excited because this is the first massive sales we've done in the last 2 years. So 50% discount on everything, and I mean all our brand products, our retreats, our books, our courses, all the courses that we have, the courses, the retreats, the book, the executive coaching, everything is 50% discount. 50% discount. So get ready. It's going to run for 7 days from November 25th to the 1st of December 2022. 50% discount on all our brand products. Now, how is it going to look like? We've created hampers to make sure that you get a bit of everything. Now, this is for any gender, male, female. You have some. We have something for you. Any of your, do you have? Oh, I don't have so much money. We have something for you. As long as you're invested in your personal development or business development, we have something for you. Now, this is also an opportunity to buy gifts for your loved ones. I'm someone who believes in teaching people how to fish rather than giving them the fish. Because when you keep giving people fish and you don't teach them how to fish, you create dependence everywhere. That is not healthy for you and it's not healthy for them. So get ready. Get ready. We have different hampers coming up. We have hampers that you could get books, you could get the retreat, you could get the courses, you could decide what you want to do. We have all of them. So get ready. 50% discount. Even the Rediscover and Thrive retreat. It was so difficult for me, but I decided to put it in one of the hampers. So for all of you who have made inquiries on the Rediscover and Thrive retreat that is happening in January, from the 18th to 21st of January 2023, get ready. You can purchase it at a 50% discount, and then you get other bonuses included. Other bonuses included. So get ready. Get ready is going to run for 7 days. So this is not the one I'll start getting messages. Please extend it. When most times what happens is even after the promo, people will be paying the same money and coming back to me. So we usually would do a 2 day promo, 3 day promo. But because of the experiences over the last few years, we decided to make it 7 days. So no excuse. After these 7 days, please do not come back. 7 days, 50% discount, get ready. You have enough time to get ready. Now, there's a particular course I also want you to look at for, which is the 30 days abundance challenge. Is in almost all the hampers, right? And if you're looking for starting, wrapping up your 2023 strong, wrapping up your 2022 strong, starting up your 2023 with so much clarity and commitment to taking action, you need to purchase that course. Now, one of the things that happened with us, as you remember, I talked about patterns. I talked about patterns and how it's important to study your pattern for you to be able to dismantle it and create new ones, right? If the patterns are not serving you, there's some patterns that really serve you and some do not serve you. So you would also get this from the 30 Days Abundance Challenge, and you have a framework for you to take action for 30 days. We've broken down all of it into small absorbable units, fragments that you can carry out daily goals, daily reflections. You have is an audio course, 5 minutes to 10 minutes every day for 30 days, and we talk about different aspects of your life, your business, your spiritual health, your emotional health, your everything is a complete package for 30 days. And then after that 30 days, trust me, your life cannot be the same. Most of the people that have gone through a 30 days abundance challenge have really moved on to another level. We've gotten lots of beautiful reviews, lots of beautiful reviews. So you will want to really key into this. So get ready and get ready, get ready. The magazine, everything is on this Christmas sale. So get ready. 25th of November to 1st of December, 7 solid days of, Christmas promo. You have lots of bonuses there. And I'm sure you'll come back to say thank you. So spread the good news. You want to buy Christmas gift, you want to help someone create a legacy, you want to create you want to help someone to create a transformative agenda in their life, then you need to gift them one of the hampers. So get ready. We'll be coming to you very soon. Okay. I'll keep reminding you from time to time. On my personal wall, you can also get more information. So just get ready, get ready, get ready. I'm just excited. This is the first time we're running this amount of this length of promo. 7 days, we've not done that before. 50% discount, we've not done that either. Ozima says the 30 days abundance will propel you to launch into the deep. That's it. Ozima has gone through the 30 days abundance challenge. Trust me, you can't go through 30 days abundance challenge and remain the same. Mm-mm. You can't. You just can't. You would move. There will be a shift. There will just has to be a shift. It's not a magic dust. For some of us, we're talking about transforming your mindset. Listen, it's something you have to do yourself. Even in the 30 days abundance challenge, we talked a lot about the mindset, transforming your mindset, growth mindset, fixed mindset. So you're going to have a lot in this. And no one can give you a magic dust. You see, when you see all this get rich quick in 2 days, in 7 days, I don't have anything like that because I know it's not possible. You have to go through the process. But what I do know is possible is that we can kickstart your mindset, help you transform your mindset to help you kickstart the growth you want to see. And whatever level you're in, you can take it a step further. That's what I promise that you can experience. Holding your hands, holding you accountable. Excuse me. Ozima says, teacher's consult was bettered after the training. Exactly. Thank you so much, Ozima, for this beautiful review. Thank you. And another amazing thing about the 30 days abundance challenge is that you have live access to the course. So you can always go back and take it again to do another 30 days challenge. Go back, and I do that even with myself. I'm the creator of the course, but from time to time, I also go back to take the 30 days abundance challenge when I have key goals that I want to achieve. So thank you, Osioma, for that wonderful review. And I hope that the session tonight, you've picked out one or two things, and I have given you an assignment. I'm not asking you to submit the assignment to me, but as if you do it, it will really help you. The first assignment I gave to you is look at the belief system you have. And I said your belief system is all those thoughts that you hold to be true, that determines the meaning you give to things, that determines how you react. When you feel that someone has insulted you, why do you think so? It's because of your belief system. So look at all those thoughts that you hold to be true. Identify the ones that have really hampered your growth, the ones that have limited you from growing. Identify them. The ones that have served you, that have made you to grow, I want you to also identify those ones. Identify those ones as well, right? And then I also asked you to look at the pattern. Look at the pattern. What has been the pattern in your life? How can you use those patterns? How can you create your own pattern? Very important. If you want to change a habit, you need to understand the habits you have that are not serving you. And one of the quickest way of dismantling and creating new habits is to give yourself time frame, short time frame. That's why New Year resolutions don't work for many people. You come into the new year, you say, "Oh, I'm going to do this, do that, do that, do that, do that." After 2 weeks into the new year, you've thrown everything away. Why? It was not based on a solid foundation. The changes you want to bet were not based on the solid foundation. So to transform your mindset, you need to understand what your belief system is. You need to understand the impact it's had in your life. You need to identify the patterns you've been going through. You need to learn how to speak positive words to yourself, to situations. You need to open up your mind to going through the process rather than just focusing on the end result, right? And then you need to give yourself the permission to, when you encounter challenge, give yourself the permission to engage with it. Quit running around it. Quit running away also. Give yourself the permission to engage with it because you're more than enough to surmount whatever challenge you're going through. We're going to wrap up for tonight on this note, but make sure you join us next week, Friday. We'll continue the conversations next week, Friday. Next week, Friday, we're going to be talking about the strategies for the constructing a fixed mind and making sure you have a growth mindset. Remember, today we talked about the two types of mindset, the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. Now, where you want to be is in the growth mindset. I've told you about the fixed mindset. The fixed mindset gives no room for self improvement. You think your intelligence, your knowledge can get you. You don't want to do anything to improve yourself. You know it all. You don't want to open up to superior arguments or superior knowledge. And then what happens? It stops your growth. But a growth mindset recognizes that I can still improve myself. There's still a whole lot I need to do to be the best version of myself. My intelligence alone cannot take me there. You open up to other perspective, right? This is easier said than done. You know, I told us how we come about those thought process that we have, culture, religion, life experiences, family, and all of that. It's not easy to dismantle all of this. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. So next week, we're going to be looking at the strategies for dismantling all of this, all those limiting beliefs that have not been serving us. How can we dismantle them so that by the time we're hitting 2023, we're doing things differently to achieve that result we want to have. We all want to grow. If you're in a business and you're an entrepreneur here, listen, your personal development level will always equate your business level. Your business cannot grow more than how you've grown. Your business cannot grow more than how you've grown. And it's not far fetched. Just reflect on what we've discussed today. Just reflect on all that we've discussed today, and you will see why your business cannot grow beyond your your level of development. How? It's not possible. So thank you very much. I hope you are going away with amazing things. AJ says, I'm more than enough to surmount any challenge. Yes, yes, yes. Ozioma says, wow. Solomon says, I'm so looking forward to this 30 days abundance challenge. I want to. Yes, get ready, Solomon. There's a 50% discount. Amazing discount. So get ready. Very affordable. We have a gift for everyone. A gift for everyone. Part of the reason why we're doing the 50% discount is because we're rebranding. For those of you who've noticed, one, the logo has changed. So initially it's to just be Joy Onyeso, but now it is Joy Onyeso Coaching Consult, right? And initially the logo was, if you go back and look at the old logo, now we have a different logo. So we're rebranding, we're repositioning, and just in that attitude of gratitude, being just grateful for how far we have grown and where God has taken us to and where He's taking us to. We're running this 50% massive discount, and I want you to key into it. Until I see you next week, don't miss next week. We're going to be looking at strategies, so make sure you tune in next week. I love you, I honor you, and I celebrate you, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Until then, it's bye for now. Keep being the best version of yourself. Remember, happiness is in your hands. Do not give that power to anyone. No matter what is going around you, if you feel too overwhelmed, please speak out. There has to be a trusted support system that you can always reach out to. Can we get phone numbers for the office? Yes, it is on the e-flyer. Let me put the phone number of the office. Just a minute. You can call. No audio. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks. I mistakenly clicked on the cancel this thing. So thank you so much. I'm glad you got so much value. And I look forward to seeing you next week, Friday, where we're talking about the strategies for the constructing a fixed mind and just empowering or engendering your growth mindset. Audio don't jack back. The audio is back. Also, till next week, Friday, keep being the best version of yourself. I love and celebrate you. And watch out on my wall, both my business or my personal wall. You're going to get more information on the sales. So, God bless and keep you, and make sure you have fun this weekend. Bye for now. I love you. I celebrate you. And just know that you're simply very unique and you're the best version of yourself. No one can do you more than you do yourself, right? So just focus on being the best version of yourself. So I look forward to seeing you next week, Friday, same time. Thank you so much for always tuning in. God bless you, bless you, bless you. Bye for now.
Oh yeah,